All right, guys. How's everybody?
Good.
It's a great Wednesday.
So you guys are heading out today.
Yep.
And is that, I was wondering, with you having a lot of trips coming up to the Central and Eastern time zone, is that maybe something you're going to do?
I mean, we're looking at every trip individually, and sometimes it's nice on this first one to, your first road game to maybe get out of town a little bit better, so you can kind of hunker down and get in your bunker mode. So we've done that in the past, so we just decided to do it this year as well. But I don't think it's going to be something we're doing on the norm.
What does Wisconsin do that you haven't seen from your first two opponents?
Well, first off, Wisconsin's a great basketball program, and I mean, there's just no disputing that. I mean, they have a tradition, they have history, they have a legacy. They're used to winning. They're battle tested, and it's a program I have a ton of respect for. So I think you're stepping up a weight class. And then obviously you throw in the added element of it being on the road, and we know it's going to be an incredible test. So I mean, you're probably looking just overall. They have good size overall. They have good athletes on the perimeter, and they have some skilled players as well. So they have a coach who's been there, done that. He knows how to prepare a team for a season. He knows how to prepare a team for a big game. So we're expecting an incredible test. Come Friday night.
What major differences are you seeing from this year's team for them to last year's?
I mean, major differences. I mean, they're running some of the same stuff. They lost an experienced guard. But they have good returning players. They got a 6th-year transfer. So I think they did a really nice job filling in the gaps. I don't know, every, dynamic of how they recruited or who they lost. I just know that the team that I'm watching has my full attention, and we're expecting a real battle.
One of the things we saw from Toby in this last game was his ability to post up low on that high-low action, whether it was Krivas or Henry up top feeding him or Trey. What do you like about the two new guys and their ability to create that space down there?
Well, they're obviously incredibly talented players and great young men. I think they're getting comfortable with how we play. Sometimes it takes a few games to kind of understand how everything connects together. When you practice, you're not like generally doing a bunch of extended scrimmages. Things are broken down into smaller parts, and they kind of build them up. So sometimes you need a few games to connect the pieces. I just think having a few games under their belt now, they're kind of seeing how the pieces connect and how we play, and where they can be opportunistic and find their spots. And I'm really pleased with the progress they've made, but I also know that that there's a lot of growth still to be had.
They play 2 7-footers, basically. Is there a benefit in how you guys practice and the way your roster is constructed? Because that's kind of unique, but at the same time, you guys also can go big at times.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one thing that is nice is, when you play against size and you have size, it's something you're used to playing against every single day. So I don't think our guys, feel, in tough situations when they're playing against another 7-footer, a guy that's their size or a guy that's a little bit bigger, because they're used to it on a daily basis. So we really haven't talked about, hey, they have 2 7-footers, we need to do this different or that different. We're gonna play how we play, and they have the size that we have, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see how the matchup goes.
Talking about that history, is it surprising that they're going to honor Bo Ryan and the 14-15 players? I don't know.
I mean, not at all. I mean, and I wasn't aware of that. Tia told me that. That's awesome. I mean, the guy should be honored. I mean, he did an incredible job there, and obviously, Arizona and Wisconsin have crossed paths before, and so I think as what it means to the current game, probably nothing. But what's cool, it does mean something to the fan bases. It does mean something to the media. They're great talking points. So, yeah, that's good. When you have 2 history-rich programs, I think it's cool when they have shared experiences and, fans have memories of those experiences. And, they give them good feelings or they give them bad feelings. But, for this Friday night and the current players and the current coaching staffs, to me, I mean, I think we're more – we respect each other, and we're more excited about the battle that's going to take place Friday night than worrying about what happened in the past.
Yes, is it different than last year? Because I remember some of the guys after the game last year here were talking about how you guys did talk about that past history. Now that you're past it and you've had a recent game, yeah, has it even come up this week, do you think?
I mean, we still have 2 days before we play. I don't think it's anything you don't want to, you're not going to avoid talking about. I mean, when you have good and bad things happen in your program's history, they're both part of your legacy, and you have to own those moments. You cherish the great ones, and you got to own the tough ones. So, we're not running from anything or anything that's happened in the past, and it's not bad for the guys to know the history and kind of put it in perspective for them. But do I think it has any added value or it's going to be an emotional catalyst for either team going to this game? Probably not.
What can you tell us about your signing today, Dwayne?
Dwayne's an incredibly talented young man. He's somebody we had our eyes on for a long time. We think his best days are ahead of him. I love his personality. He's got a seriousness to him. He wants to be great. And he's got great physical tools, like a lot of young players. He's going to have to come in here, and I'm sure there's going to be a learning curve. But we expect him to be a quick study. And we're excited to welcome him to the fold. And recruiting this day and age is, can be a little bit different than maybe it has in the past. I don't think you're judging men's basketball programs on fall signings as much anymore. Because there's different ways to compile a roster. So, we're obviously going to continue to recruit more guys, and we're excited about some of the possibilities, in the future. But first off, Dwayne is a great piece to start off, our next generation of Arizona Wildcat, with.
Caleb, Jaden, and KJ have not necessarily had to get to the line in these first 2 games. Do you anticipate we'll see more aggression in them and maybe be able to get to the line?
Maybe, I think they've played really well together. So, sometimes, just maybe 2 games isn't a great indicator, of that a little bit. And, I think if you're planning on beating Wisconsin by shooting a bunch of free throws, you probably haven't paid attention to history or how they play. I mean, they're one of the best teams in the country at playing physical without fouling. So, so we're aware of that. And, when we drive in there, we got to be smart. I want guys focused on scoring baskets rather than drawing fouls. So, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how the game's reffed. And hopefully our guys are up for the challenge and they're adaptable. That would be important to me.
You mentioned Dwayne's skills. Where do you, assuming as he develops, what do you see him upside-wise? What kind of skills really jump out at you? And, what position? Because it sounds like he can do multiple.
Yeah, that's one of the most exciting things about him is his versatility, and he's got great size and he's got great skill. He can really shoot the ball. He's a great athlete. He has a good feel for the game. Those are all great places to start. Rather than pigeonhole him on a certain position or a certain style of play. I think we push him and give him a great foundation, developmentally, and then we kind of see what direction it goes and where his strengths are and what our team needs. But you get a really talented young player like him who has great character. It's exciting because there's probably multiple different ways he can help your program.
Where did you how far back do you go back recruiting him? Do you see him in a FIBA tournament a couple of years ago or last year?
Yeah, no, we'd heard about him for a while, and Murph did a great job recruiting him, and he's somebody that we kind of had our eyes on for a couple of years.
More question. Well, do you expect? You mentioned obviously in this day and age, not a lot of emphasis on the fall signing class. Is there any? Do you expect the other guys you're looking at are probably all going to wait till the spring?
Yeah, we'll see. That's their decision. First off, they got to decide where they want to go, and then they got to decide when they're going to sign. And it just there's a lot of moving parts in college sports right now. So I get it. I think the best thing we can continue to do as a program is keep galvanizing our everyday culture. Keep galvanizing our ability to develop players. And then let's go out and be competitive and be tough and play with great discipline, and hopefully that leads to good results. And then you put all those things together. It seems to me like that gives you the best pathway to to kind of rebuild next year's squad. But right now, you know, guys, the focus is on this current team. I mean, and we're really excited about where we're at. And like I said before, I know we're going into some tough spots, you know, upcoming here, but I love who we're going in with. So I'm excited to see how it goes Friday night. Thank you, guys.